It's time to start the journey. Bronze to Mythic, Secrets of Strixhaven Limited on Magic the Gathering Arena. Alright, let's see if we can win our first draft, and if we don't, we'll have to grind for more gold again. If you are watching my channel for the first time, pretty informative, and I'll be going through my thought process as we do the draft to help everyone get better. I also would like to go through one drafting technique in each video, but for the first video, we're just going to run a normal draft and see how it goes. This is one of the better cards in the set. Nice little white rare, makes 2/2/2s, and then you flash it back, make 2 more 2/2s, but you put a counter on all your guys. So we will be taking that. Some notable cards. This guy's really good. The black removal spells are decent. This guy can be good. Overall, a pretty solid pack. Alright, we have good removal again. This guy is pretty good as well. Is able to make a creature every turn. And a couple of blue-red cards that are decent. When you start off with a card like Antiquities, you know you're going to be a creature deck, and you're going to want to draft ways to make that good. In this format, it's going to be usually either red-white or black-white, because those are the two colleges that support being aggressive. So given that information, I might be taking Bitter Triumph here. It's a overall decent removal spell. I think if I had taken a different card, maybe if you were doing Converge, you could take this, or the Historian's okay. Overall, I would say this is a weak pack. Alright, well, we have another black removal spell here that we could take. I'm just gonna let that hover for a second. This card's pretty mediocre. This card's okay. This is the most, makes no sense in the format card, in my opinion. There are, 3 artifacts in the entire set. The only way this card is playable is with the blue-red guy who you can make a treasure with if you play spells, but this card should not be in the set. It makes no sense. This card is surprisingly really strong. You know, you have your classic 2 mana discard a card, draw 2, but this has flashback and you gain 2 life. So red-white could be open. We will see. I will take this card as we already took a other black removal spell. So let's see where that takes us. And now we have a good red removal spell and a good red creature. And then we have more kind of random filler white 3-drops, and this guy isn't terrible either. The best cards in the pack are red. Red-black really isn't a deck. I mean, you could try it. I have one before with an off-college color combo, but it is not something that I suggest going for. It's an interesting choice. It could be kind of cool to try to do something like that. I mean, I don't think these guys are particularly good or special. While this card can be really good, and this is just more removal. Yeah, it even wants me to take it. Let's take the removal. Let's see what happens, you know? Let's get a little crazy with it. Alright, this pack sucks again. I mean, there's run behind if you're blue. We're not. And we're not a 5-color deck to play that card. There's Locust Spray, which is solid because you could always cycle it. Then there's just a good removal spell here in a Johnny's Response. Ideally, one thing to note that I haven't really talked about is picking cards in the color of which you want to play. Like, we first picked a white card, and if we had picked more white cards, we would be sending less of a white signal to the left. Given that information, maybe we're supposed to take a Johnny's Response here. So we will. Alright, this rare is pretty unplayable. It's just, it's a colorless mana. Most of these cards are pretty whatever. This is like the 3rd Allen Historian. maybe we're supposed to take one at this point. Not getting these other cards are that good anyway. Could take an Expressive Fire Dancer for curve purposes, which might be, we might be going into red-white then, but let's take the white card, even though it's worse for the curve. And then here we have Helping Hand, which is an okay card. We also have this guy again, which if you ever untap with this guy, it's usually really strong. This card's fine. Yeah, after these two black cards, we haven't really seen any good black cards, but we have seen some red cards. So I will take the red card here. And hope that red-white is more open than white-black. This is a pretty late run behind. We'll take the Lorecaster here. 6 mana 4/4, get a card back is playable. It's not the best, but it's whatever. Alright, well, the Pursue the Past did come back. This card is amazing, so we will take it. Probably head more into red-white. Splashing black for removal wouldn't be the worst, just because they're pretty good removal spells, but we're not going to force that. We'll just see what happens. Generally, you don't want to play 2 of this card, otherwise the pack's pretty bad. You can play this card in every deck just because of its other ability, the ability to spend 2 mana to instant speed sleight of hand. So we'll just take it. Probably won't play it, but... And then here we will be unhappy, but it's the last 3 picks, so what do you expect? Just take a random card. Okay, both the white-black cards wheel, which makes me think no one's in white-black. Not that these are very powerful cards to begin with, but it is an interesting signal. Seems like green is the least open color. People are probably in green, blue, and green, black, which is fine for us. All right. Well, there's a strong mythic rare in Emeritus of Woe. It's just a 4 mana 5/4 that if you untap, you get to Demonic Tutor, which is pretty disgusting. These cards remind me a lot of the adventure mechanic from Eldraine. Just overstated creatures that also get to cast a spell. If we stay away from black, we have a nice 3 mana 4/3 Flying Vigilance. Sometimes it's 5 mana. Sometimes it's not. There's a land. This guy isn't terrible as well. He's pretty good in the black-green deck. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to take the Mythic Rare. It's just too good not to take, I think. And can lend us to being black again. Right now, we're pretty all over the place, but we're also just looking to figure out what our lane is going to be. Alright, well, this black-green card is really strong, but we're not in the market to be playing green. This is coming directly from our left, so the player we're passing to isn't black-green. It's worse for us. We kind of wish he was black-green here, so he would be passing us the better cards. For our deck, this guy's probably the best as a 4 mana 3/4 menace that can make a bunch of 2/2s. Which ways can we bring back from the yard at this moment? We have this card, and this card. So 3 ways. It's probably good enough for me. Alright, so now we have another one of these guys, which we're not going to take here for curve purposes. We have this guy who's pretty good. And then we have this guy who's also pretty good. 2 mana 2/3 that lets you pump creatures. And then we have a solid 4-drop and a 4 mana 3/3 make a 1/1. And this guy, you usually want one of them in the red-white decks, but I think we're going to take the 2-drop. Kind of lacking in that department here, so we'll go with that. And then now we have some pretty generic 3-drops that we could pick from, or this Repel Calamity, which will be the pick because it is removal. You're going to want multiple removal spells in every limited deck you play. At least, if you can get 5, you're happy, I would say. Since we're still lacking the 2-drop department, we will take the Spirit Mascot here. Solid red-white creature that works with a lot of the synergies that normally come with red-white. Ad nauseum. I used to play a deck in Modern that was based off this card. You just draw your whole deck and win the game. It's pretty fun. We will not be taking it though. We don't really have the resource for that. So we could take a land to help play the black cards, or we could take a 2-mana 2/2 first strike that allows both players to draw 3 cards. I think that'll be the pick. Mostly as a 2-mana 2/2 first strike, but the other half comes up sometimes. Another cool. I love the arts on these cards. I just hate the fact that they make the cards in general. I think the bonus sheet is a really bad. Like it ruins a lot of formats, and is just a way for wizards to make more money. Here we will take this card. It is significantly better than these 2-drops. It's just a big flyer. Oh, nice. And then we get a nice pick 8 and Practical Joke. I'm very surprised to see this at this point in the draft, but I will not complain. Nice 1-mana deal 3 removal spell is really good. Here's a Killian's Confidence, which is a solid card. So now that we've kind of settled into red-white, let's look at these black cards. I would still splash all these if given the right lands. Here we'll just take another 4/3. And then another 2-drop. And a 4-mana 3/3 make a flyer. See, at this point in the draft, when you're playing on Arena, there's really no reason to hate draft, because there's not a 100% chance you'll actually play against any of the players in your draft, um, which would be different in a real life draft setting. So you kind of always want to just take cards in your colors, so people aren't wheeling cards, like they'll stay out of your colors more frequently. So looking at our deck here, we're pretty happy with playing all of the current cards. If we had cut the black and the cards we don't want to play, we're left with 18. Should always keep this in mind. Here we have a white-black land if we did want to splash. Otherwise, we have this card, which is really good in the red-white deck, and I think that's going to be our pick here. I, again, would splash these black cards, but if we can build a deck without it, you might as well. Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Right, so we have 19 cards. We're looking for, since it's best of one, I pretty much always play 16 lands in best of one because the Magic Arena Shuffler is rigged to help you draw a more consistent hand because it secretly draws 2 hands. It gives you the best of the 2, so you're more likely to get a playable hand, and you want less lands in your deck because if you draw lands at a certain point in the game, Magic becomes really unfun. Here we're going to pick, I think it's going to be another Glyph Mage. Monstrous Rage is definitely a playable card, but I just want creatures that are good. And now we'll take a Stand Up for Yourself, as it is removal. That's the point in the draft we want to look at how much removal we actually do have. Which, if we do this, we can see that we have 4 removal spells. This would be number 5. Perfect. Throw it in. And then here we have a nice Burst Lightning, which will be the pick, as it is once again removal. So now our deck's shaping up to be quite nice here, I would say. It's always good to look at your curve. You want to make sure you're able to cast cards throughout on each turn of the game. Right now, looking pretty good. Best card in the pack is obviously this really disgusting sorcery. A lot of times it just draws 4 cards and in a pinch can wipe a board. For us, we have another removal spell, which we're not going to take, I don't think. This is one of the worst of the available ones. We have 2 uncommon white cards, 2 mana 1/1 double strike that can pump, and a 4 mana 4/3 that you can return from the graveyard. I think another 2-drop is better, although the 4/3 is probably a better overall card. And now we have either a Tome Blast or an Artistic Prowess as more removal. Artistic Prowess can double as a 3/3 Flying Haste, which is really nice, but Tome Blast I think is too good of a card to pass up. Just 2 mana, deal 2 to any target with 5 mana flashback. Just gets a lot of value at all points in the game, and if you ever cast a Firebolt, you would understand why we're taking this. Alright, so this is now with 16 lands, so right now we're just looking to upgrade cards. We have a nice, another 3 mana 4/3, another removal spell, and a land. First land is always solid. We do have a good amount of removal, so I might take the land, even though it is strictly worse than these 2 cards, because we know for a fact we are going to play the land. This is probably the worst charm of the charm cycle. You just get like a random 2-drop back, or you pump your team, and the first mode never comes up because, once again, there aren't any artifacts. I'll just take it because I don't think we're going to play a third Glyph Mage. We'll just put it on the board. Now we hit... Oh yeah, this is a new account, so it doesn't have any of the cards. I like to hold Alt on my main account to see how much I have of each card, and then sometimes you'll pick a card based on that just to fill out the vault and the set collection stuff. Here's the Monstrous Rage. Alright, so we will have to make a couple cuts here at the end of the draft, but that is the case most of the time. Ooh. Overall, I'd say our deck's pretty solid. We only have one rare. Thanks, Magic. So that is probably the biggest issue with the deck, as we don't have a lot of power. However, I think the deck has a solid game plan. So what I like to do for on Arena is you type T:(CR, and it separates your creatures and your non-creatures into a nice little section like this. Get a good view of what you have. Here we're going to cut the Ancestral Anger, the Interjection, because it's just worse than Monstrous Rage. If we had decided to play a combat track, it would be Monstrous Rage. We're going to move this down to the 2, because a lot of time you're playing it for 2 mana. Like I said, we play 16 lands a lot of the time, so this is showing 17. We're going to click the boxes here to see what our current mana situation is. Looks like more white than red, so we will cut a mountain. And now we have to make 3 cuts. Let's cut 1 Spirit Mascot. I'd like to know in the comments what you guys would cut from the deck at this point, or if you would even play a card I've already cut. Because I think this is where it gets interesting in the deck building process here. I think I will cut a Glyph Mage, which could be wrong. I'm going to cut the Monstrous Rage, I think. I don't know if that's right, but that's what we're going to do. Otherwise, like the deck, like our curve, let's run it, see how we do. Good hand. We'll keep. We're on the play, which is nice. I'm going to play the Plains over the Mountain because this gives priority. Not just so they don't know. I think it is worth killing the Studious first here a lot of time, but since we have no other action, I'm just going to do a little bit of this. Let's try to hit some action. So we could play this on turn 3. We would have to exile the Pursue the Pass, which I don't really want to do, especially given that our hand has a bunch of lands. So I think we will just pass, and then next turn, hopefully he plays something we can Impractical Joke, and then we'll have 2 cards to exile to the Stone Glider. There are a decent amount of X4s. Gain 5 life. Ah, I see. This guy's playing a little faster than the average player at this rank, which is making me think he is better than that normal people are. Here we're just gonna flash back to pursue, I believe. Get rid of the mountain, sure. All right, nice. We have 7 cards, all of which are pretty good. He has yet to apply any real pressure, except for now. The card's pretty good. He is forced to sacrifice something. So we could double spell here. I like... Obviously, Dawson will be one of the spells no matter what, so might as well start there. And then do we want the Stone Glider or the Antiquities? I think Antiquities is better because the Stone guy is a spirit as well. So we could just flash this back next turn and then they'll all get counters. Sure, we're happy with that. I mean, he does get to gain the life, so his guy doesn't die. He's using all our removal on these 2/2s. Sure. So we could flash back right now. And I think we will. Do we attack for 3? I think not. Reasoning is I want to double block, and if we attack and he kills a guy, then our double block doesn't work. And even if he kills a guy during the combat step, we'll still have a 3/3 available to us to block with the turn after. So he chooses not to pay the full X, meaning he definitely has a card. The question here becomes, what card is it? If it is +3/+3, we can triple block and still kill the guy. If it's +1/+0, it has to be a 3-mana spell, right? Otherwise, he would have just paid the other 2 and left up the 1 mana. So it could be destroy target creature. It could be put 2 counters. So I think we could be +2/+4. If it's +2/+4, that's the worst possible for us, I think. I think we will triple block and just hope it is anything but +2/+4. He had nothing. Or he didn't want to do it after we presented that option. Okay. Here we're going to go exile 2 cards. Actually, I think we cast this for the full cost. Then we Impractical Joke the 2/2. Attack for 3. Pass the turn. The reason we're not doing this is because we do have the Spirit Mascots and some other cards that would make it good. I see, that was his plan, is to get it back. But now we drew a nice little removal spell. We do have to discard a card, so we'll keep the mountain for when we have to do that. And then we can just cast this once again for the full 5. Attack for 4 in the air. And we're looking good. Sure. Sure. These cards don't matter that much. Alright, now we drew one of our payoffs for keeping this in the graveyard, which is nice. I think we're just going to play the mascot, exile the card, get a counter and surveil. We do not want to land. We'll attack for 8. And we'll pass turn. That resolves. So now we have a question. Okay, we let that resolve, killing the mountain. Now we could let the feaster live and just kill the shopkeeper's bane this turn. He immediately goes me. That's pretty funny, I think. So his guys will get +1/+0. I think it might be better to actually kill the Thornfish Striker, because it gives trample to everything. And then we have a 2-turn clock. Now we at least have a nice block here. And then we definitely want to kill the Bane, and this could bring this up to a 4/4, but I don't even know if that's necessary. So I think we'll just trade off. And then we'll play this. We can get back the Joe can kill the pest if we want, or just get the Repel Calamity. It's probably better to just get the Repel Calamity, and then next turn we can kill the Travity Feaster. And now our opponent's in a tough position. Sure, it's a lot of value, but he's just dead, right? Yeah, he's just dead. Just kill this. Nice. First win. Definitely had a lot of choices there during the game. Could have got rid of the Pursue the Past to play an early 4/3 flyer, which could have ended the game quicker. That if we had done that play, it may have worked out just because he didn't have any removal. So I think either way, in hindsight, both ways we took the game led to a victory just by what cards we both had. But it's interesting to think about. Alright, Chinese Gorilla. We have a nice hand, double removal spell, 2-drop creature, and a card draw engine. Love to see it. Let's get our creature going. We could do this for 2 damage, but I don't think it's worth it. Just pass it up. I didn't really think about this. This is like a 5-drop a lot of the times, and should be considered as such for our curve. He has a response now. Okay, we get a guy, which is nice. I don't think this card's very good. Attack for 1, play the primary research, get back this guy, draw a card. We're looking quite strong here. He's missed lands, one of the downfalls of Magic the Gathering. Okay, now we'll just do this to get the value. Now, I think. Deal him a good chunk of damage. And play this. What's changed since the early turns compared to now is that he has just done nothing pretty much. So I want to get him dead as quickly as possible. And we also have 4 removal spells, so we'll be able to get past his creatures without using the prepared spell. So he definitely has some kind of spell here. I don't mind using the Tone Blast just to kind of see what it is. Alright, yeah. Never mind, he has nothing, so we'll just crush him. And then we'll just play this for the full cost. Yeah. That's what happens when you get mana screwed. Alright, our first rank up. Bronze 3. On our way. Making some progress. This little 2-0. Maybe I should look at the deck and see if I want to take out a big cost card, but I kind of have the mindset a lot of time and just run it till you lose, you know? Alright, obvious mulligan. And keep. This is 4 removal spells, primary research. A lot of time when you have 2 lands, you might think to get rid of the 5-drop spell, but since all 4 of these cards do the same exact thing, I think I'm going to keep it as a way to get some card advantage after I've spent a lot of these. Now it's really just a choice between these, and I think Burst Lightning's the worst one, actually. Because this just deals 3, this has flashback, and this can kill anything. Alright, more removal. We definitely need... I would like to draw maybe a 2-drop creature into a bunch of lands. Okay, 3-drop creature can be good soon. If we hit a land next turn, we can play the Historian, Surveil, maybe keep a land on top, and then just try to hit the primary research mana. 1-4. Not the easiest card for us to kill. Alright, there's the land though. So we'll just get the Historian going. 6-drop. Yeah, I don't think that's what we need right now. Let's see what he's got. I was just thinking to myself. So this card is probably the best card in the entire format. Like, kind of like pack rat level of unbeatable. So we will probably lose this game, but let's just keep playing. Another removal we probably don't need. Every time you play limited in a non-cube format, there'll always be some cards that are very close to unbeatable. And there's pretty much nothing you can do about it, which is unfortunate in terms of design-wise, but just kind of is how it has to be. I mean, as we see here, like, our opponent's just not using it correctly already. You want to do it as the first action you take each turn. Alright, land is good. I think we'll just attack for 4. There. And pass the turn. given this interaction here, it might be best for us to just kill this Rubble Rouser now. It felt really bad having to ditch both a removal spell and one of our better mana payoffs, but it is what it is. Maybe we should have joked the Glyph Mage as well. Considering we want a primary, yeah, we should have in practical joked the 3/3 as well. That was a mistake. Alright, well, now we'll do it to that instead, most likely. We could go this and this. Yeah, we have nothing to get back yet. So, yeah. Preacher with power 3 or greater, okay. Kill that. Attack. It's just a losing battle. It's literally just tap, draw a card, deal 1 damage, gain 1 life every single turn of the game. And then you can get the deal 1, gain 1 from other cards throughout the game as well. Really hoping he just kills this. Alright, nice. Yeah, we're gonna need to kill that. But we're pretty much dead here. We'll play this. Get back our card. Sure. But we're pretty much dead here. I should probably just concede now. As we wait 1 turn to see if I have life gain in the deck. Alright, it didn't matter. We're dead. Unfortunate. Again, literally nothing we could have done differently in the game. I don't think any decision we made throughout the game actually changed the outcome of this game. And that's just one of the flaws of Magic the Gathering. On to the next. Pooed my pants. Oof. 2-lander on the draw with 1 playable card. We keep it. If we don't draw planes, we blame Mark. Come on. Pick your hand already. Oh, he mulled a 5? Jeez. Alright, that card's pretty bad. Alright, well, we have yet to draw on plains. So we drew a mountain, even though we have less mountains than plains. Alright, perfect. He played a creature we can not interact with. It's going great for us. Ooh, another mountain. Alright. Okay, another bad card. Alright. Now we win. No. So normally you want to be mana efficient, right? Maybe play this guy. But because we have this primary research, I actually think I'm going to play this card. Because if he kills it, we can get it back. And we get to keep our better card. Yeah, I think we keep planes. So it gave him priority once I played a creature, so I think he has something. Is he gonna crew? I think we trade if he crews. No. Okay. It's fine. But we will kill his guy. I wanted to do this before he untapped with mana because of the graduation days. And then I am more than willing to trade here. Alright. And then we'll just play our card. So when you're up on cards, trading is good for you. Since he mulliganed the 5, he just has less cards than we do. So we want to trade as much as possible. I think we start off with a nice attack for 2. Now you could say we could play this main phase and then maybe this gets a counter and stuff like that. But I want to get this into play before this, but also I don't want him to kill this valuable creature. So since we drew the Eager Glyph Mage, I'm just going to play that out. It applies a similar amount of pressure that this does, while also being a good, like, bait, essentially, for our stuff. So just attack here for 6. He's got a bunch of nothing, so at this point we'll just play it since we have nothing else we really want to play. There's an argument for keeping a land in their hand for the discard a card, pursue the past, if in case we draw it, but I don't think it matters that much. Alright. Pretty good with the graduation day. He now gets to put 2+1 counters on it, make it a 5/5 first strike. Not bad. We can't really double tone blast it, but what we can do is this nice little combination here, which should be devastating, I would think. And then this guy's menace, so we'll just attack for 4. He said nice, we give him the thanks. And I assume this game is over, barring some crazy mythic rare. Next turn we can just all out swing, most likely. We'll just chump block in case he has some double strike thing. And that's game. Yeah, this card is not very good. I would suggest not playing it in your decks. Maybe in like the Nut Silver Quill deck, but even then. Alright, 3-1, making progress. We're close to making enough resource to continue drafting. See if we can hit that mythic while being full free to play. Two planes, two drops, a couple removal spells. I'm about it. This might be a game where we actually play the other half of this. But we'll start with the 3-1. In case he doesn't have a 2-drop, the 3-1 will deal more damage than the 2-2. And we're also okay with it trading. So here he could have Essence Scatter. Which one would we rather him scatter? Probably this guy. You could play nothing there as well, but if he has a card like Deduce, it feels really bad. And then yeah, even here he had a cuboid colony as well. Go straight to end step, huh? Do we burst lightning it now? If he plays one card, he gets a counter. I doubt. Yeah, let's go for it. I want to use my mana. Anyway. Okay. Let's get in for 5. Maybe he has a run behind or whatever that name of that card is. The bounce. Yeah. Do we keep it? And we can play it next turn alongside Impractical Joke. It isn't the best draw. It is good to play it and then eventually exile it to prepare this and primary research. So I think we'll keep it. If you would have chosen to put it on bottom, I think that's a fine play as well. And then I'm pretty much never going to cast this until we have to. It's doing nothing again, which is odd. But we're alright with that. We'll just keep attacking and playing guys. There's the Essence Scatter, which we could do this now to trigger this, but we do have the primary research anyway, so we just pass. Now the key is, what is he going to play here? Alright, we're okay with that. Spirit Mascot is interesting. I mean, might as well play it. And I'm still going to keep that in the yard. He's down to 7. It's a good one, but it is something that we can impractically joke, so pretty alright with that. That is a great card to draw as it lines up perfectly mana-wise. Now he's in really bad shape. Sure. Yep. GG, GG. Bronze 2, baby. We're making our way. You can see how potent just a basic red-white deck is here with just some creatures and removal. Can't really go wrong. I see a lot of the streamers enjoy playing the spells deck, where you just pretty much have no creatures. I think early on in the format we saw a lot of the converge decks. I personally enjoy the converge decks, even if I lose with them. Just fun. I pretty much have never played the black-white combo of Silver Quill. I try to avoid it. Same with black-green. I have tried black-green a couple times, and unless you have like 5 rares, the deck is just a little bit under par. Mostly just because of the potency of the other decks. Like, I think in a normal limited format, the cards that it has would actually be good enough to be the best deck, but its late game relies heavily on just having bigger creatures, which is easy to answer with removal. I think we go the Stone Boy. Again, just bigger power. Allows for more pressure. Okay, that will be pretty good. Pretty good against our Stone Docent as well. Docent? I don't know the right way you're supposed to say this. Docent? Docent? First Striker is nice. Is it better than a 2/3 flyer? I don't think so. So he has a card that costs either 1 white or 1 black. It's giving him priority in a time he wouldn't normally have prio. So I believe that it's either the +2/+2 first strike or +1/+0 and indestructible. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Removal's always good, especially in this matchup. If you can kill their guys, all of their pump spells become useless. So ideally, when you're playing against a deck with combat tricks and you know for certain that they have a combat trick, which, again, this is not like if you're playing in real life Magic, you don't get this information for free, and that's why I think a lot of the top level players consider Arena a little bit less skillful, is because you kind of get free information you normally would have to like work for in real, which is it's whatever, you could view it however you want, but either way, we're taking a 5er to the face here. So now the problem becomes, since he killed our better creature, we can't really, well, I guess we could with the Scolding Administrator here. I was going to say that we can't really present a block that would be favorable for us, but we could double block the Administrator. If he goes to pump it, we kill it in response. He gets to put a counter on the Lorette. We take 4, and then next turn we get to go double 2-drop. So I think that's our plan. Or if we draw land, we could just play a 5. The Laureate will be a problem going forward, but it isn't the end of the world. If he ever pumps it past 2 power, we can stand up for yourself. I don't really look at the flavor of cards a lot, but I like this one. And the little text they give you here, it's like him standing up to the bully, is nice. Alright, so he taps out. In that case, we could Unsubtle Mockery the Lorette. Actually, it might be better to just double block it, and then wherever he puts the counter, we just kill that creature. Yeah, so now we'll just Mockery this. Surveil 5th land is good enough. And now we could either go double 2 plus activate this, giving this a counter, or just play a Pigment Wrangler. Pigment Wrangler could be good if he plays another creature that we can kill, and then we can go Striking Palette, and then into that. So I think we'll do that. Even if he gets to just do this and attack us for 4, we're spending our mana. I mean, it would have been similar, right, if we spent our mana either way, but this is, alright, well, that's pretty good for him. It's a little unfortunate, but that's fine. Him only having to spend 1 mana to kill our guy is frustrating. I was hoping if he wanted to kill our guy, it would cost him more than just 1 mana. Johnny's response is actually pretty good now. So we could either hold up double removal, or we could play double 2 drop in removal. I like that a little bit more now. I think we actually kill this now so he doesn't get that extra spell. Alright, he finally hits his 5th land. What does that mean? Like, what does he have here? I definitely don't want to double block and get blown up by a spell. Alright, it's pretty frustrating. Alright, at least we do another removal. So here we'll go stone, do this, we'll gain 2 life, put a counter. That's pretty good. We will... I think I should kill the Sneering Shade Rider now before he has a way to, like, protect it. And then we'll just pass. Now we can present a block. If he has a spell, we could just repel Calamity, and then we're sitting pretty. Especially since we know we're drawing a nice creature. Surveil main phase is definitely incorrect. Pretty much always want to wait to do that. Here, we're going to want to exile 2 cards, so it triggers a Spirit Mascot. And then we have both Primary Research and the Lorecaster as ways to bring back 3 cost permanents or spells, so we can get rid of the Pigment Wrangler, and then we want to keep the Historian, and then we'll just pick the worst of the 3 removals here. Probably Stand Up for Yourself. That's his last card. Okay. And then we won't attack. Because if we attack for 4, then we're forced into this block, which I don't want to do. That's fine. Removal as his last card is frustrating, but it is what it is. Now we can repel Calamity, the 4/4. Problem is this Inkling Mascot if it gains flying. So now, do we draw 3 cards? We've used a decent amount of our removal already. We are up cards, I guess, technically. This doesn't get +1, right? So I think we'll just attack for 4, pass. We'll Surveil on the end step and hope that we draw better. It's only used 1 Plains here, so 3, 6, 7. He has 9 or 10 lands left, so there's 23. It's in the 40s percentile. We've hit 7 lands. Alright, that card's pretty whatever. So we have 9 lands left in our 23. So our odds to hit spells that are relevant are slightly higher than him. Keeps on top. Not super happy about that. But Tone Blast is gas. We'll do that. Then we get to Surveil again. There is an argument for just Tone Blasting out of the graveyard here. Put him to 6, and then we have Lethal, but maybe that was the right play. Interesting part here. Okay. He kept on. Alright, that's fine. I was going to say if he kept a card that targets for his thing, which he did, but it was a removal spell. I was thinking more of like a combat trick or something. Get rid of that. Attack for 2. And then probably hold this land now. What does he draw? I guess nothing. Keeps on top again. Do we want to deal 3? I don't think so. Just draw for turn. Nice. Cast that. That's why we kept a land. And then we'll play this guy. Attack for 2. Looks like we might win this one. Sure. Okay, he's alive for a turn, but we will do this again. Make a 2/2. And then we will do this. Exile 2 cards. Make another 2/2. And that should be game. I guess we play land now. Good game, sir. Go through the motions, take your game actions, and finish them. Nice. I always skip this. You ain't getting my info for free. You're not getting it for free. You gotta pay me if you want my answers. Alright, nice. Little 5 wins. We now have gained enough resource to go again, which is good for our climb. Which also guarantees a video tomorrow, so make sure to look forward to that. But let's see if we can finish this off. We got 2 more wins, hopefully. A nice little 7 winner would be nice to start off the account. Little bronze to mythic. We'll see how many drafts it takes us. I'm more curious about that than the actual time, because I'm not going to be doing more than 1 draft a day. But we'll see how many drafts it takes us to actually get to mythic. Tomorrow, I think the draft technique we will go over will be signals, as that I think is one of the first things you're taught when you first get into drafting. I tried to mention all the different aspects of draft during this first main one, just to give you guys a little taste of what I'm thinking about during the drafts. But yeah, for tomorrow's video, we'll go into exactly what signals mean, how you want to portray them, and we'll talk about the differences between a real life draft if you go to your local game store or these online drafts, and how you should play them differently. But for now, let's look at this hand. This hand is unfortunate. If we were on the draw, I might keep, but because we're on the play, I think I have to mulligan. This isn't even a real creature I can play on 3. And this removal is better at killing bigger creatures, which means we'll get run down. Alright, getting a little unlucky here. Again, if we're on the draw, I actually probably keep this hand on the draw because we have a Burst Lightning and multiple 2-drops. But we will have to mold a 5 here, which is highly unfortunate. And now, what do we get rid of? So we have our good card here with Antiquities, which we need 3 lands to cast. I don't think we're allowed to get rid of Burst Lightning on principle. I'm pretty greedy, so I'll probably ditch a land. And then I'll probably ditch the Eager Glyph Mage and just hope that Burst Lightning Corral into a land will give us a good enough here for winning the game. But molding the 5 on the play, limited, we're probably screwed, I'm going to be honest. Can we also talk about the matchmaking? Why am I against the gold? Just curious. Rare, first card. This card does nothing and then essentially just wins you the game. So we'll have to keep that in mind. As he already gets his first trigger. We will definitely be killing this card. It is too good in this deck. Hopefully hit land. Nope. It's unfortunate. So now you're thinking maybe if I kept the planes, we could have ditched one of like maybe this guy, and then we would be playing some 3-drops back to back here, but I think that either way we would be pretty screwed. We could kill it, but then it gets pests. If we were to surveil, what were we even looking for? Because we kind of need both a land or multiple lands for flashback and this end spells, so I think we're just going to make 2 2/2s. And since this guy is reach, it's not like this guy can get in anyway. At least at the moment. We're actually pretty okay with that overall. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely take 4. And now we will Historian. See what's on top. Land, I think we have to keep. Okay, that could be pretty bad for us soon. And by soon, I mean right now. I also didn't know it came in as a 3/4. I thought it was a 3/2. Yeah, he didn't attack this time. Yeah, now it's strictly just out of range, which is annoying. We'll just play our 4-drop, pass the turn. At this point, we're just hoping he draws straight lands. I think that is our pretty much our only way to not lose the game, is if he draws lands only. Alright, one of them was a land, but he does get to kill our best creature, which isn't great. Do we trade our guys for that? I don't think so. Maybe if we draw a mountain here. Plans. I was thinking if we draw a mountain, we can play mascot and hold up mockery to blow up the plus. Do I want to play the mascot if it means we take 4 again? I kind of do because it's a spirit for this. So we do have to take 4. If he draws land again and we draw land, we can flash this back. This gets 2 counters. These all. It's not out of reach, depending on what he draws. All right, we take that again. Doesn't pump. That isn't good for us. Just plays a 4/4. Okay. We don't draw land, but we can kill off the 4/4. It's gotta be our best bet here, I think. Uh-oh, I think he drew Pull from the Grave. Or Cheerful Osteomancer. I think if he attacks with the Biomancer, we're going to double block this time. Because if he kills the Spirit, we still keep the Flyer. And if he kills the Flyer, we keep the Spirit for this. He doesn't pump. Well, we'll still kill the 4/4. I think he drew Pull from the Grave. Yeah. And then that's our 6th land for the Antiquities. Kills the Flyer, which I kind of wanted him to kill the Flyer over the 2/2 anyway. Oh, I mean, it's essentially an Antiquities, right? It's a creature that can return a thing. Vigilance, if you control 8 or more lands, he has 6. He's got 2 removal spells. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But we have a sizable board now, at least. He can get back a Wander off, or just a 4/4. Yeah, or that. Just start getting triggering all this. Yeah, that's better. What do we need at this point? More removal? Yeah, I can't really afford to block that either. Pigment Wrangler. Man, it's good. Is it good enough? I doubt it. He has a spell. That's pretty bad for us, the fact that he has a spell. Another Mythic. This is what I was talking about earlier with the black-green deck, right? He's got Rare, Mythic, Mythic, Rare. That's how you can win with this deck. If you don't have all these, like if you just have one of these, the deck is much worse. Like all these random guys and spells, like it's beatable, right? Like look what I have. I could beat random men. But when you're playing 4 mana 5/4, put the best card in your deck in your hand. 3 mana 3/4, that's a 6/7. 3 mana 3/4, that returns the best card from your graveyard to your hand. Like, I'm not beating these cards. 2 mana enchantment that gives +3/+3. There's just a ton of cards that are very close to unbeatable. And it's not like I'm drawing bad or like I have the tools here to like beat a normal thing. And I mean, I'm mulligan to 5 as well, so if you take that into consideration, like if we add 2 more cards, there's a chance that he doesn't get to do all this stuff, but either way, kind of just playing to see if our opponent messes up. I don't really think he could lose at this point, but you never know. Not doing anything seems kind of wrong here. Like, wouldn't you have searched for a creature to trigger this? At least I would think so. Oh, player thing. Get back her guy. Guess we want Mountain to copy the Mockery. If we're given that opportunity. That is the first time I've seen this land be activated. I mean, it's obviously good when you have two mythics that have that ability. Well, as long as he refuses to attack, we have a chance. I was hoping to kill the mascot instead. Quill Blade Lorette. Well, Quillblade doesn't do anything, so I think we'll discard it. Don't play that guy out. And then we pass. Mockery something. Might have to be the life gain card. We'll see. It's pretty rough here. The fact that he hasn't drawn lands or creatures is wild to me. Like, what has he drawn? Yeah, that's pretty much game. At least it should be, if he, depending on what he does. But. Yeah, like look how big his creatures are now. I should be dead already, realistically. It's not even a great attack, but I don't even know why I'm still playing this. Why am I doing this to myself? Oh, I should just scoop. No, I can't. I just scoop by scoop. That was a waste of time. Take a sip of some coffee. All right. Might have to cut through that game, you know. Do a nice little I lost in big letters as we cut. All right, that game never happened. We win the next game. All right, this is a little ridiculous. This is what, the third or fourth game in a row now where they're giving us double mountain here? Come on. I don't want a mulligan every turn, every game. Zendikar Mountain, nice. Unhinged Plains, I like it. Sure. Don't really care about the treasure. Hoping to just kill, maybe. Yeah, like something like that. Sure. Alright, we're curving decently here. Just need to keep drawing gas. We know our 6-drop's in the bottom, which is unfortunate, but everything else is pretty chill. Sure. Rubble Rouser, ditching a playable 4-drop creature. I mean, this guy's kind of ass. Low Kizzy. Guess we attack for 1. And just gonna play the 4-drop. If he doesn't have removal, we can use the Stone Glider and get some value, which is nice. He's got removal. Unfortunate. Is that your whole turn? You have 4 mana, technically. I slapped my forehead with a plastic knife that was on my desk over and over. Alright. I mean, that's okay with us, because we have a better creature to play anyway. Oh, nice. And now we can go play the mascot, play the glider, exile 4-drop because we can't get it back, and we know the 6-drop's on bottom, so the spell. Hit in for 1. Alright, so we can kill like one big dude, and we're also... Yeah, that's the guy we're killing for show. Yeah, you can make the glass right bigger to force us to trade. No, that's... I would say that is incorrect overall. I mean, I guess he wants to block instead, but the 3/3 couldn't block yet either. He exiles nothing. Okay. Yeah, we'll just hardcast this, kill the flyer. Get in for 5. Next turn we can play another flyer, which is nice. That's pretty bad for us in multiple ways. Yeah. The 3/2 first striker is a problem as well. Okay, never mind. It is no longer a problem. We kill it. Nice. Play our flyer. Surveil a land to our graveyard, maybe? Practical joke. I can combo it with Tome Blast to kill the 2/5, but I would need another mountain. Otherwise, I could use it to kill... I could attack, and then... Yeah, I think we keep it. It's a close call, though. I could see ditching it. He's still stuck on 5 lands. He discards a real card to play Seize the Spoils. I feel like you could just play the 3/3 there and you're fine, but whatever. Do I Tome Blast? Yeah, I think I Tome Blast. See, so it's 2, 3, it would be 4. Yeah. And then I think we kill the Spirit. This way it pumps the Historian as well. Just hope he draws land again. That is really odd. 3, 6, 7, 8. He has enough mana to Tome Blast, flash it back. It could be a pump spell. I mean, I guess I take it. Very confused. It's a pretty bad draw. Originally just wanted to attack and then Impractical Joke the 2/5 after damage, but now I'm worried he might have +2/+2 in first strike, which would completely blow me out here. I could just kill the 2/2. Which, I mean, isn't terrible. I guess if he wants to keep it alive also, he'll use the spell. Now he has one less creature for flashing back Group Project. Close game here. He puts away a 3/2, yeah. Sure. Nice. I like that. Can we get in? Can. Alright, play another Historian. Get rid of Mountain. He didn't activate Rouser too at the end of the turns. He's missing free damage here. I think I just blocked there. So we still have lethal with our unblocked creatures. Monstrous Rage. That was his big play. That's why he couldn't save the other guy with my burn spell. Makes sense? GG. Probably should have upkeep Surveilled there. He has an extra 4 mana afterwards to use. But we take those, and now it's time for the final boss. Removal, 2-drop, 5-drop. Opponent mulligans. I'm okay with that. Page Loose Leaf. I'm just gonna get my creature in play. We can kill it next turn. If we want to, even. I don't know if it matters. If we have nothing else to do, we will. Stock up, holding up blue-green mana. Okay. No, well. We drew a spell. So we play it. Removal number 4. I mean, I don't hate it. We have enough creatures to just attack, so... Alright, we can kill that with a little impractical joke. Attack for 4. The beats are in full effect. Card's pretty good, but we can kit it. And I think we try to kit it. Because if it worked, we could attack with the Kirol. Bounce his own guy, surveil, okay. Well, we still can attack with the Kirol. Did he surveil the yard? No. Plays 3/3 and 4/4. Okay. In that case, I think we just play the Wrangler. And then next turn we can copy some removal or antiquities if it survives. Now we've done half of his life total as well. Mill 7, get a creature, 2/5. Milled a bunch of removal, which is good. Blue-green doesn't have a lot, so him milling some away means I doubt he'll have much more. Discards 2 spells, so he must have 2 more spells in hand. Alright, I mean, now we get to just double kill a guy. Or we double antiquities. What is better? If we double kill a guy, we can attack with the Historian. That's probably better. I think we killed a Mana Worm as well. It's harder to kill. Put him to 4, now double Tome Blast kills him. Three reach, sure, yeah, that could block. Oh, and a Terrafractal. But he doesn't play the Terrafractal, so he's dead. Oh, well, he's super Omega dead. Burst Lightning to the face. Hey, woo! We've done it. Still in bronze, but managed to squeak out the 7 wins in our first draft on the channel. Let's review the deck before we head out. 16 lands, normal, a bunch of removal, great. Some late game inevitability with Research, Pursue, Lorecaster, Excavator. We never prepared this guy. We never played the other half of this. Cards that were impressive, I would say, were the flyers were all pretty good throughout the games, especially this guy. This guy, he did get to pop off that one time, which was pretty sick. All the removal felt pretty good at pretty much every point in the game, I would say. This card is quite good in this deck, or in the red-white deck in general. Just 5 mana, 3-drop, draw a card a lot of the times. Overall, I'd give this deck probably maybe 7.5, 8, and somewhere in that range. I mean, when you have 3, 4, 5, 7 removal spells, 1 rare, okay creatures, you're going to be in that nice 7 to 8 range. What could have made this deck better? Probably rares, I would say, would make it a 10. If we had the Arc of Hunger that we lost to that one game, and maybe the Dragon, or the 1/3 Flying Lifelink. All of those cards would bring this deck up to a 10, I would say. Some commons and uncommons we were missing out on was that 1/4, the Rubble Rouser, that could help ping and loot, and the Relic Sloth in the 4-drop slot, nice trample lifelinker. Other than that, we had pretty much everything we needed, and I am happy with our W. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.